And now, Andrew Does Everything proudly presents Cinderella, based on the story of Cinderella. Once upon a time, there lived a young girl named Cinderella. Cinderella had 3 ugly, mean stepsisters named Olive, Nina, and Esme. Olive, Nina, and Esme made Cinderella do all the chores. "Sweep the floors, wash the dishes," said Olive, Nina, and Esme. One day, the king of Onlyville's messenger said, hear ye, the king of Onlyville is going to throw a ball. And whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Singling. But Cinderella is not welcome. Her stepsisters are. Olive said, he's going to marry me. Nina said, no way, Olive. He's going to marry me. Esme said, both of you are wrong. He's going to marry me. Later, Cinderella is so sad that she cannot go to the ball and marry Prince Singling. Suddenly, her fairy godmother arrives and asks Cinderella what is wrong. Why are you crying, Cinderella? She asks. Cinderella responds, I wanted her to go to the ball and marry Prince Singling, but I'm not welcome. The fairy godmother waved her wand and chanted the magic word, Winnity, Waterity, one! And then, Cinderella's chores are all done. But the fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, Cinderella, go fetch me a good old pumpkin. Luckily, Cinderella has one pumpkin. The fairy godmother waved her magic wand and chanted the magic word, Winnity, Waterity, one! Again, and to turn Cinderella's do-rag and clothes into a gown. I've never seen such a wonderful gown. I get a load of my glass slippers, and then the pumpkin into a carriage drawn by 2 strong horses. The fairy godmother said, have fun, Cinderella, but I will warn you, return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken. Cinderella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Singling was wondering who he should marry. Olive, Nina, and Esme said all together, he's walking towards me. But he's not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards Cinderella. Cinderella and Prince Singling dance happily together. But later, Cinderella realized it's almost midnight. So she scurried out of the ball, and she was running so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. Prince Singling was so worried that he might never see Cinderella again. So he traveled around Onlyville to find her and brought the glass slipper with him. He knocked on the door of the house where her Cinderella and her stepsisters lived. He said, ladies, I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try this glass slipper? Olive is first, but her foot is too big. Nina is next, but her foot is too small. Esme is last, but her foot didn't fit either. Suddenly, Prince Singling noticed Cinderella singing. Cinderella said. Prince Singling, is that you? Prince Singling said, of course it's me. Cinderella gets so excited because she's having to have her Prince Singling back. And they lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story before bed enters doors. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share to my video. Take care. Bye and good night, everybody. And now, Andrew Does Everything proudly presents 55erella. It is based on the story of Cinderella with a bit of a twist. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon a time, there lived a young woman named 55erella. 55erella had 10 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters named Fatina, Ivana, Fernanda, Tasha, Yadina, Fiona, Isabella, Verona, and Ella. Fatima, Ivana, Fernanda, Tasha, Yadina, Fiona, Isabella, Verona, and Ella. May 55erella do all the chores. 55er wench! Sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all! Said Fatima, Ivana, Fernanda, Tasha, Yvonne, Fiona, Isabella, Verona, and Ella all together. One day, the king of 55ham's messenger arrives and says, Hear ye, hear ye! The king of 55ham is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Quadrigentupling. But 55erella is not welcome. Her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters are. He's going to marry me, said Fatima, the oldest stepsister. Ivana said, No way, Fatima. He's going to marry me. The rest said, No, he's going to marry me. Later, 55erella is so sad, distraught and upset doing chores about not going to the ball and marry Prince Quadrigentupling. Suddenly, her fairy godmother arrives and comforts 55erella by saying, There now, my dear sweet 55erella. I can help with a bit of magic, and waves her magic wand. And because of that, 55erella's chores are all done. But her fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, 55erella, go fetch me a pumpkin and some mice. Luckily, 55erella has 55 pumpkins and 110 mice. 55erella's fairy godmother waves her magic wand again to turn the 55 pumpkins into a handsome coach, the 110 mice into horses, and 55erella's fairy clothes into a gown and crown. 55erella says, I've never seen such a quinquagentuple-tastic gown. Get a load of my glass slippers. Fairy godmother, how can I ever thank you enough? 55erella's fairy godmother says, Well, you can't. But have fun, 55erella. But I would warn you, return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken and everything will change back to the way it was before. Back to normal. And gives her a clock to tell her what time it is. 55erella accepted the warning and climbed into the coach. Meanwhile, at the ball, the king of 55ham says, Good evening, everyone. My son, Prince Quadrigentupling, was one who he owed to marry. Isn't that right, son? In which Prince Quadrigentupling responds, Yes, father. Suddenly, 55erella arrives just in time for the ball. Fatima, Ivana, Fernanda, Tasha, Yadina, Fiona, Isabella, Verona, and Ella say, He's walking towards me! all together, but he's not walking towards any of them. Prince Queen Quadriga Toppling is walking towards 55 Arella. May I have this dance? asks Prince Queen Quadriga Toppling, in which 55 Arella responds, I would be delighted. Prince Queen Quadriga Toppling and 55 Arella dance happily together. But later, as 55 Arella checks her clock, it's almost midnight! And so she scurried out of the ball. And she was running so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. Prince Queen Quadriga Toppling is really sad and worried that he might never see 55 Arella again. The king of 55 Arella comforts him by saying, There now, son. I think we'll be able to find her. And so, the king of 55 Ham and Prince Queen Quadriga Toppling began their journey all around 55 Ham to find 55 Arella and brought the glass slipper with them. By the time they arrive, they knock. Prince Queen Quadriga Toppling knocks on the door of the house where 55 Arella and her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters live. But instead of 55 Arella, they find her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters. Prince Queen Quadriga Toppling then says, Ladies, my father and I have a favor to ask. Can you try on this glass slipper? Fatima is first, but her foot is too big. Ivana is next, but her foot is too small. Nonsense! It fits, she said. The rest is the same, but none of their feet are the right size. Suddenly, Prince Queen Quadriga Toppling and the king of 55 Ham noticed 55 Arella singing. Prince Queen Quadriga Toppling, is that you? She hollered excitedly. Prince Queen Quadriga Toppling says, Of course it's me. My father and I found you. I love you. Will you marry me? And the glass slipper fits. And so, 55 Arella, the king of 55 Ham, and Prince Queen Quadriga Toppling lived happily ever after. The end. And I bet it was a fun story, right, Andrew Stewart? I've been debating on making some sequels. So, if you want to see maybe someday 55 Arella 2, 55 Wishes Come True, tell your friends about it, okay? And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on Andrew Does Everything. And buy our merchandise at AndrewDoesEverything.com. And have you found your prince or princess? Just let me know, and maybe my Cinderella parodies will come true and become real. Take care, Andrew Stewart. Bye. And now, Andrew Does Everything proudly presents 331 Arella. It is based on the story of Cinderella, with a twist, that is. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon a time, there was a young girl named 331 Arella. 331 Arella had 23 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters named Tasha, Hannah, Rena, Allie, Amy, Hilda, Ursula, Natalie, Dahlia, Ramona, Ezra, Daisy, Tilly, Harriet, Isabella, Rosalina, Terry, Yeva, Yadina, Olive, Nina, and Esme. All 23 of them made 331 Arella do all the chores, sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all. Set them all together. One day, the king of Double 31ville's messenger arrives and says, Hear ye, hear ye! The king of Double 31ville is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Trinja into Tri-Millupling. But 331 Arella is not welcome. Her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters are. He's going to marry me, said Tasha. No, oh wait, Tasha, you're wrong. He's going to marry me, said Hannah. Rena said, both of you are wrong. He's going to marry me. The rest said, all three of you are wrong. He's going to marry me. Later. 331 is so sad doing chores that she can't go to the ball and marry Prince Untrigen Taha Tri-Millupling. Suddenly, her fairy godmother arrives and asks for 331 over what's wrong by saying, why are you crying? 331 Arella? In which 331 responds, I can't go to the ball and marry Prince Untrigen Tri-Millupling. But I have lots of chores to be done. 331 Arella. His fairy godmother said, I can help with a bit of magic. She chants the magic words. Double, triple, single, toilet trouble, and waves her magic wand. Because of that, 331 Arella's chores are all done, but her fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, 331 Arella, go fetch me a pumpkin and some mice. Luckily, 331 Arella is 331 pumpkins and 662 mice. 331 Arella's fairy godmother chants the magic words, double, triple, single, toilet trouble, and waves her magic wand again to turn the 331 Arella's 331 pumpkins into a handsome coach, the 662 mice into horses, and the 331 Arella's ripped clothes into a gown and crown. 331 Arella said, I've never seen such a 330 wonderful gown. And get a load of my glass slippers. Fairy godmother, how can I ever thank you enough? 331 Arella's fairy godmother said, well, you can't. But have fun, 331 Arella, but I would warn you. Return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken, and everything will change back to the way it was before. And gave her a clock to tell her what time it is. 331 Arella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Untrigen Tri-Millupling said, who should I marry? And suddenly, 331 Arella walks in. He's walking towards me, said her 23 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters all together, but he's not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards 330 Arella. Prince Untrigen Tri-Millupling then asks, may I have this dance? In which 331 responds, I would be delighted. 331 Arella and Prince Untrigen Tri-Millupling get happily together. But when 331 Arella checks her clock, it's almost midnight, so she scurried out of the ball. And she was running so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. Prince Untrigen Tri-Millupling was so worried that he might never see 331 Arella again. So he traveled all around Double Free Oneville to find her, and brought the glass slipper with him. By the time he arrives, he knocks on the door of the home where 331 and her 23 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters live. But instead of 331 Arella, he finds her 23 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters. Prince Untrigen Tri-Millupling then said, ladies, I have a favor to ask. Can you try on this glass slipper? Tasha is first, but her foot is too big. Hannah is next, but her foot is too small. But she said, nonsense, it fits. The rest are the same, but none of the feet are the right size. Suddenly, Prince Undrajan Trimalaflame notices 330 Wanderella singing. Prince Undrajan, is that you? Hollered 331 Wanderella excitedly. 330 Wanderella gets so excited because she's happy to have Prince Undrajan Trimalaflame back, and the glass slipper fits! And they both lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story, Andrews Doers. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and it does everything. And buy our merchandise, etc. And I've been making the sequels a bit of a tradition. So, if you want to see maybe someday 331 rather 2 331 wishes come true, tell your friends about it. And take care, Andrews Doers. Bye. And good night, everybody. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite, or don't let the monsters give you a fright.